Hello and welcome back to Vampyr. This is episode 9 of my playthrough. My name's Emma and this is Once Upon a Quest. Last episode there was a few WTF moments. We met a big, hunky, meaty, older vampire, I can only presume, by the name of Azkalan. So I'm not sure if he was talking about himself in the third person or if there's a higher vampire called Azkalan, which is kind of what I'm thinking that actually might be it. There might be someone else called Azkalan. And we also met our potential maker on the bridge. We had this vision in red, in kind of blood, and we met this weird horned looking floaty spectral thing that spoke to us and didn't really make too much sense, but seemed to say that we were one of his children. So I don't know if that's the thing that created me or not, but anyway, kind of spoke in riddles, not really sure what that's about. And we discovered that Mary, my sister's grave, had been dug up, or else she broke out of it and is running around the streets as some sort of a vampire, skull, zombie, werewolf, ghost, I don't know. So we're going to start this episode at the Pembroke Hospital and probably go talk to Dr. Edgar Swansea and see if he knows what the hell is going on, because I don't. So let's go. Ooh, can I spine Rakesh? Ooh, let's spine Rakesh. What's he up to? What are you up to, Rakesh?
You don't mind if I search your pockets?
I knew it!
Do you,
I
sir?
knew it! Whenever he said he was a
any
pawnbroker.
anyway. I'm not stealing from you, mister.
I knew he was doing that.
Redistributing your belongings to people who need them more than you.
Yeah.
You see, no one has claimed your body, sir. So it would be such a shame to bury you with your valuables.
I knew he was doing that.
I will not forget you, sir.
Of course.
And I thank you for your generous donation.
Oh. Rakesh has been appointed as a medic by mistake during the war. Oh, by mistake? Was that what happened? Oh. Rakesh is not afraid of death since he served as a medic. Rakesh steals from the dead he is responsible for. Oh, Rakesh. Yes, he said something about being a pawnbroker before. And I was like, a pawnbroker, eh? So I bet you're stealing all the stuff off the dead bodies. Oh, I found a letter.
Locked.
What's this letter? Long letter. Hello, sis. How are things in the big city? Here in Brum, things are not so good. It seems the flu is here again, and we have many new cases of infection in the neighbourhood. Do you remember Miss Scheller, the old drinking hag from the 3rd floor? She passed away 2 days ago, and her flat is already occupied again. Geez, you would have to pay me a huge amount of money to go sleep in the bed in which a woman died of the flu just a few hours ago. That sounds like she came back to life. Sorry, I did not take time to quickly answer your last letter. Between taking care of little Paul, Mum, Dad, and my job at the factory, I rarely find time to write to my favourite sister. By the way, my son says hello to his Auntie Pippa. Oh, this is Pippa Hawkins. You should see the little bugger already driving me mad. And Mum says you bring back some of those marvellous cakes the next time you're back home. In your last letter, you told me that you thought about quitting your job at the Pembroke Hospital. I have to tell you, Pip, you better think twice. There are always jobs at the factory, but wages are shit, and it's as boring as a day without a shag. Oh, I've a new fiancé, and no, I'm no slut, you moral bitch, you. So if you really want to quit and do something more useful than counting the dead every morning, maybe you better stay in London and join that band you told me about, the Guard of Priwen or something like that. Never heard of them, but if they're, like you said, some sort of civil militia trying to make a difference, then maybe it's a good choice for you. Just be sure to let the others go in front. That's how my poor Billy got killed in France, by leading too many patrols. Bloody war. Anyway, come back as soon as you can and give me all the good news before that. I am your affectionate sister. Oh my god, I nearly said Lucky. Lucy, Paul, Mum and Dad. Okay, so Pippa Hawkins is potentially interested in joining the Guard of Priwen, according to her sister. No, it's all locked, right? Rakesh, what are you doing stealing from
Good
these
evening,
people?
Dr. Reed. Such a pleasure to see you again.
Is he gonna can I ask him about it? Yeah.
How dare you steal from the dead, Rakesh?
I knew
Is
he was
that
doing
what
that.
your pawnbrokers is really about?
I still
These
love him
people
though.
are dead, sir. What they possessed could be useful for the living. And I'm sure they would agree if they could speak.
Like, I understand what he's saying, but like, it's still crossing a line, and also, it really depends on what he's actually doing with the stuff he's stealing. Is he selling it and keeping it for himself, or is he actually giving it to people in need? You know, these kind of things are important. You would go to jail if caught. Is that true?
You may be right, but you'll go to jail if you're caught.
If ever I have to go to jail, I'm sure I'll find a way to help people there, too.
Oh, Rakesh, I love you so much. You're mad. You're a madman. I love you. Oh, we already talked about this, right?
Tell me the truth about your appointment as a medic during the war, Rakesh.
The regiment administration appointed me by mistake. I had to learn the job on the spot, sir. Very hard,
Oh,
sir.
yeah.
But I rose to the challenge.
I don't remember learning that, or maybe I was just a bit confused. You should have refused. You can't impersonate a doctor.
You can't impersonate a doctor. You can't improvise a medical education. People could die at your hands.
You're absolutely right, sir.
And then you can just steal
But
from
as a
them.
field surgeon, it was more like being a butcher.
Do you believe you have really helped these people?
My ratings were within the averages of the regiment. I saved lives, Dr. Reed. Does that not say enough about triage and war surgery?
Sure. What's his mesmerize level? Ooh, he's worth so much XP. Okay, that's fine. Okay, so I could sell these rings just for some money. Oh, no. Oh, no. I need that back. That's a quest item. Oh, it's already more expensive than I sold it for. That's so annoying. Yeah, this pocket watch is a quest item. Oh, don't sell that. Okay. Another body murdered. Investigation succeeded? Huh? What do you mean investigation succeeded? No! Oh no! That's counted towards the quest completing. I accidentally sold that stupid watch and I bought it back straight away, but it's still counted as the quest complete. Shit! Because I could have brought it to a relative or sell it, and it's counting it as selling it. So I don't know now if I'd be able to give it to a relative as well. I presume it's just crossed out that quest line now. God damn. That's annoying. I didn't realize that when I was selling it, that was the quest item. Because normally in games games will separate quest items so that you don't accidentally sell them. Damn. Oh my god. No, there's nothing I can do about that. Because I can't, there's no chapter select or anything, so I can't go back. That quest line is just gone now. Fuck. Oh well. Okay. Well, poo. Listen, I knew there was some problems with, there was going to be some issues, you know, in every game there's always like little issues like that, so that one's a bit of an annoying one, but you know, I'm coming into the game knowing that there's going to be some problems, so I'm not too mad about it. I just need to be careful in future if I'm selling stuff that I'm not selling quest items.
Good evening,
Let's see if we
Nurse
can ask
Hawkins.
Pippa
Good
Hawkins
evening,
about that
Dr. Reed.
later. Are you planning on leaving the hospital?
Pepper, are you sure you want to leave this hospital?
To become a nurse was a little girl's dream. But in the end, I don't feel that useful. I want more. I want to make things change.
Yeah, patients need you.
But you're doing something important here.
We're very understaffed.
For all the patients who need your help.
We save lives, sure.
Especially after I eat
Each
a
time
few
we
of the
send a
staff
cured
members.
patient home, it's a relief beyond words. But since the epidemic, I feel so powerless.
What steps are you prepared to take to feel more useful?
I don't know yet. My sister believes that the real fight is in the streets nowadays.
Is she going to become a vampire
Maybe she's
hunter?
right. Maybe this is what I must do.
If you feel that saving lives is not useful enough, perhaps it means that you've lost faith.
On the contrary, my faith has never been stronger. Maybe we are all just too proud to face up to the fact that science cannot compete with God.
And she looks right at the camera as she says that.
And what about Milton Hooks? Does he share your point of view?
For Milton, any change means more comfort and more peace. I disagree.
Ooh, she's worth 3,000. Okay.
Goodbye, Nurse Hawkins.
Okay then. Right, I think we need to go up and talk to Edgar, Dr. Swansea. Who's shouting like that? Who is that? Who's Dr. Swansea talking to? Who's this dude?
God protect us. You've got a leech in the hospital.
Yes, my hospital. My mission is to heal while you go about warring.
This guy knows straight away
Set
that
the
I'm
table
a
for
vampire.
a snake. I wonder why there's venom in your food.
I'm growing tired of your song. You're a woodsman, McCallum, not a doctor. Return to your hunt.
Remember, I've a good nose for machinations. I can flare the scent at a mile. You can't hide from the god.
Leave him, Jonathan. This is sacred ground. Neutral territory. And I just had the carpet cleaned. By the
McCullen.
sacred stole, this is very bad news. Bad news indeed.
What's bad news? What's bad news?
What happened?
The hospital has been attacked. We have injured patients, at least one dead and several missing. This has spiraled out of control.
Several
Even
missing.
the most infirm are asking to be allowed to return home.
Who's missing? Oh. Wait. Who's missing? Okay, Harriet Jones was murdered apparently by Sean Hampton, the priest who's not a priest. Then there's one patient that's missing because I ate him. So who else is missing? Okay, no one will notice a few more bodies. Confidence must be restored. Due for your reputation.
We cannot have the people lose faith in this institution. This hospital is their only hope.
Of course, you're right. But we cannot afford a public scandal. It would ruin us. We must restore order, and quickly.
You mentioned a dead patient. Who is he?
She, Jonathan. She was Miss Harriet Jones.
Yeah, we saw the blood trail.
Found her room like a slaughterhouse. Blood everywhere. The duty nurse is taking care of the mess.
Yeah. I'm your only hope again.
You want to restore peace in the hospital again?
Jonathan, please, I can't rely on anyone else. And this concerns you as it involves vampires. Someone has taken advantage of our more liberal tendencies here.
In what way?
Jonathan, I may turn my head when you or her ladyship indulge, but I will not allow this place to become a nest for street feeders.
Please then, tell me.
Sean Hampton, the man we thought we'd saved at the docks. It seems he was infected after all.
So Hampton became more
Yeah,
beast
so he
than
did
man.
become a
Exactly.
Skal or something.
And
or a
now
vampire.
Guard of Priwen suspects the hospital of vampire activity. Do you realize what that could mean for us?
they wouldn't be wrong. Like, there is vampire. There's 2 vampires in the hospital, dude. So they'd be right. I'll protect you all. They're not far wrong. Yeah, exactly.
Well, they are not far wrong. The hospital is almost crawling with vampires.
McCullum is a fanatic. The guard will stop at nothing. You don't know what they're capable of, Jonathan.
Very well. Since I brought Mr. Hampton here, I will put an end to this.
The sad saint of the East End. Put an end to Sean Hampton's... Oh, we have to kill Sean Hampton now? Oh boy. So I guess... Because I was thinking there's no way he would have attacked Harriet Jones unless he came back as a Skal. But maybe he's more than a Skal? Like,
Sean Hampton lives and
he's a
breathes for the
full
well-being of
vampire?
his flock. There's no other place he would go but the docks.
Maybe he's a full vampire like me, but I don't know if that's possible. Oh wow, I just noticed Lady Ashbury's mesmerized level is level 20, which is crazy. That's so high. That's so high.
Oh, Jonathan, I cannot believe my eyes. Poor woman. Butchered by some savage Skal.
Everything dies. Can we share this meal?
Would you care to partake in this meal with me?
Yeah, she's
Jonathan,
dead.
How could you say such a thing?
Forgive me if I feel
Please.
despondent. For there seems to be no end to the suffering and death
Don't
that
be all
surrounds
high
us.
and mighty
I'm
now.
always here for
You're
you,
eating
Jonathan.
patients left, right, and centre. What do you know of Ascalon? Oh yeah, I can ask her
What
about
do you
him.
know of Ascalon? I was threatened by a creature, a vampire in Whitechapel, stating I had to obey the law of
This is the
conduct.
big
What more can you tell me
meaty
about
vampire
him?
guy. He was huge.
He was bigger than a man. Huge, in fact. He seemed to radiate violence. I thought he was going to tear me apart. Then he vanished.
Fergal, the executioner
Fergal.
of Ascalon. You were fortunate he was not after you, but rather out doing his master's bidding.
Yeah, I was thinking that he wasn't talking about himself in the third person. I was thinking Ascalon must be his boss.
What is Ascalon?
That makes sense.
The Ascalon Club are the most powerful vampires in Britain and exert tremendous
Ascalon
influence.
Club. It's a
Take my
club.
advice and stay well away.
Okay, stay away. Well, I mean, he kind of came to me. Difficulty with holy symbols. What? Have you killed this woman?
Have you embraced this woman? Like the other patient, this
No,
Mr.
we know it's
Renfield?
Sean.
Her name was Amelia. And no, I did not kill her.
Amelia.
I vowed a very long time ago
I thought this was
that I
Harriet
would
Jones.
never take another life. Unless they ask.
Who's Amelia? It's Harriet Jones that was murdered. Who the fuck is Amelia? What? What? What?
Temptation surrounds us. Rich, vital. How can you resist?
Over the years, any pleasure I once gleaned from feeding is long gone. I drink for sustenance. And though I still thirst for more, I restrain myself.
I'm confused about who's Amelia.
Is there sufficient vitality in the blood of the sick and dying patients?
Yes, Jonathan. The hunger gnaws at me every waking hour. Frankly, I'm starving.
I have experienced a certain difficulty when faced with holy symbols or trying to enter religious buildings. Have you?
Now that's quite a question. I don't know why, but yes, it has happened to me.
Is this a sign? The hand of God in action? Are we repellent unto heaven?
I don't have the answers, Jonathan. But I believe superstition and magic is just fact awaiting the lens of science.
Aren't you frightened?
Very little scares me, my dear. To be compelled to avoid symbols of faith does not concern me.
All right,
Thank
fair
you, my
enough.
lady. I hope to see you again soon.
So, this was Harriet Jones's body, but then she was like, "Oh, this woman's name is Amelia." So I'm still. I don't know if I just didn't hear the conversation properly, but I'm a little confused.
It seems the Priwen are redoubling their patrols in the district. I must be more careful.
Yeah, look, there's all the guys with crosses. There was never so many guys with crosses before, and now there's loads of them. Ugh. Is there anywhere else I can jump to? Okay, it's warm-up fight time. Yum, yum, yum. As long as the guy with the cross doesn't come anywhere near me. Yeah, and I'm using my new spring attack, which lets me jump from far away, which is really fun. Okay, the guy with the cross has not come over, so that's good. Let's get all this lovely loot while we're here. Nice, nice, nice. And then we've got another guy over there. Oh, God.
Sorry, sir. Mine. Take it.
Get rid of this guy first. Ah. Yes. Oh, nope, we don't want that guy. We want the guy on the bridge just. We just want this guy. Now. Okay, that's good. Yeah, I don't think the other guys are coming. Oh shit. Yes, they are. Nope, he's turning around. Okay, that's right. Yeah, you turn around. We're close to Sean, so let's try and find Sean first. And then maybe after that we can go to Southwark. So, we are walking around looking for Sean. Oh, this guy. I wanted to cure this guy for ages. Hey, you.
Good evening, sir.
Whatever.
Don't you recognize me? We met a few nights ago.
Don't take it personally. I spent a lot of energy forgetting what I did the night before.
Yes, you had definitely drunk too much then as well. I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed.
I'm Dyson Delaney. I'll try to remember you. This
Dyson
time.
Delaney. I am going to
Inebriation aside,
heal you.
do you need medical help?
Yes. I feel sicker than usual these days.
I'm going to give you some fatigue treatment.
Take this, then. And perhaps you could try to slow down the alcohol intake, too.
Hey, Doc, you don't really want me to stop the only remedy I can afford.
And tell me where Sean Hampton
I'm
is.
looking for Mr. Sean Hampton. Do you know where I could find him?
I really don't know. I heard he'd been abducted. I don't know if he's back.
Who could tell me then?
About the sad saint. I'll try asking Tom what's about him.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Ooh.
Surely you must have had dreams and expectations when you were young, like everybody else.
Sure. I wanted things to change. To really change, and to change for good. The bigger the dream, the harder the fall.
Sounds like you were an idealist, which is honorable.
No, sir. I was an anarchist, and I believe that exclusive property is a robbery in nature. I wanted a new world to rise from the ashes, Dr. Reed.
Do you really think the world is that bad?
No, I believe we all can choose to make it better.
He's got a lot of hints to unlock,
Most of
so...
us are too weak, too corrupt and too guilty. I failed for sure, but others will come.
I wonder, is he going to be worth a lot? I know, he probably won't be worth that much. If we unlock all of the hints, he might be only worth like 1,000. But, you know, that's still a
I want
upgrade
to know
of a
more
skill.
about your past as an anarchist, Dyson.
I'm still an anarchist, Doctor, make no mistake. I just reject violence as a tool to change the world, unlike my comrades.
Do you still see your comrades, then? Even if you don't agree with their methods anymore, I mean.
No. I hope they'll come to share my point of view one day. I'll raise my glass to that splendid idea.
Do you believe in a bloodless revolution, then?
I do not believe in much anymore, Doctor. But I'll admit I like your idea of peaceful change. I like it a lot.
Okay, that's all the hints we have for now. Anything you like about the district?
Is there anything in particular that you like about this part of town? Except for the cheap drinks, I mean.
How dare you say such a thing? I love this neighborhood. So friendly, so joyful.
Why are you so cynical?
Cynicism is the polite way to express despair, Doctor.
No reason at all to rejoice, then? Life is hopeless and then we die, is that it?
Let me tell you a story.
All right. Go on.
A few years ago, when I believed a resolute man could change things around here for good, a tragedy occurred nearby.
What kind of tragedy?
It was a bomb. A bomb that exploded and killed many people. Metal and blood everywhere. Shouts, fire. Broken window of the shoe shop. The torn streetlight.
You lost people you loved that day, didn't you?
I've lost everything. But you know what the worst part is? I don't even remember where it happened. I've drunk so much to forget it. And now I can't remember where it was. I can't pay my homage to the dead.
I'm sorry, Mr. Delaney.
It's okay. If you ever find the place, just leave a flower for me there.
Aww.
Even if you tell me where it is. I'm not sure I'd memorize it.
Okay. He said something about a bookshop though, right? Cool. Alright.
Goodbye, Mr. Delaney.
Yeah, and then what's going on over here? We've got unknown person and some dead body. Let's go find out
Good evening,
what's
sir.
happening here.
Have
Why
you
is he dressed
witnessed
so
any
fancy?
suspicious activity or strange events recently?
And what do you define as
Who
a
is this
strange
guy?
event?
Looks like
More
he's
to the point.
dressed up for
Who
a
are you?
formal dinner.
My name is Ichabod Throgmorton,
Oh god.
vampire hunter extraordinaire and warden of the East End.
A vampire hunter?
Ichabod.
Really?
I know
What?
what you're thinking. I'm just another lunatic howling at the moon, but I'm not. The bloodsuckers exist, and they're close.
Mr. Throgmorton, I'm
Throgmorton.
Dr. Jonathan Reed. I'd like to hear more about these
Can I eat him?
vampires you're hunting.
A man of science? Well, I'll be glad to enlighten you.
Oh my god. Oh, he's mesmerized level 4. Ooh, he's gonna be worth 4,000 XP though when we unlock all of his hints.
Have you heard of the Guard of Priwen?
Of course. They're dedicated hunters. A little militant for my taste, but they do let anyone join.
So you hunt alone? That sounds...
Does this guy have
risky.
any idea what he's talking
Vampires
about?
are just like every other predator. They hunt when they're hungry and follow certain patterns. It's just a matter of observation and patience.
Were you ever tempted to join the Guard yourself?
I did think about it, but I'm more of a silent hunter.
Do you
They're
think he
more
was
of a
rejected?
sanitary militia.
I bet he was rejected from... I don't know. Maybe not. Okay. What else can we
I'm
ask
looking
him?
for Sean Hampton. Can you help me, Mr. Throgmorton?
Mr.
The sad saint?
Throgmorton.
He should be at his night asylum at this hour, but I cannot tell you how to find it, sorry.
Really? Why is that?
It's nothing personal, Doctor. I'm sure your intentions are good, but
They're
people
not.
who sleep there, they have plenty of reasons to hide.
Who can
Maybe
help
at
me?
least you can tell me who could help me find him.
Tell you what, go and chat with Tom Watts. He's a bartender and good judge of character.
Good old bartender.
If he talks to you, then it's fine by me.
Okay. You're so strange. What else can you tell me?
So, how exactly are you protecting these people?
Can I look at this dead body?
I'm curious.
I patrol late at night, investigating anything unusual. I try and encourage people to stay indoors, but people are careless.
Oh yeah, here we go.
How do you identify?
Now it's
a
going to get
vampire?
interesting.
It's simple, really. They can't stand daylight.
True.
They're afraid of garlic and holy
True,
symbols.
true.
They also cannot enter a house without being invited.
Have you ever
True.
killed one of these creatures? Yourself, I mean.
He knows the
Of course I
theory.
have. What kind of question is that? It's a dirty business, believe me.
Really? Really? Do you need help?
Can I help in any way?
Actually, yes. I plan to put up posters to alert the population to the vampire threat.
Are you asking me to paste posters about vampires around the docks?
If you wouldn't mind. If you did that, then I can focus on my patrols.
Sure. Okay.
What can you tell me about this neighborhood?
Did you hear about what happened to Jack Gillingham? Oh boy.
Oh, that's the whose
It's a
pocket
shame
watch I
I
have.
wasn't around to protect him.
It's impossible to protect everyone. The violence seems endemic in this part of town.
But it's my duty. I am convinced Jack Gillingham was killed by a vampire. These evil rodents are spreading like a plague.
I think Jack Gillingham was worried about retaliation from the Wet Boot Boys for some reason. I can't remember exactly why. And we have his pocket watch, I think, right? And that was the quest that I failed, or I didn't fail, but the quest line, I accidentally sold the watch and it counted as ending the quest. Okay,
Goodbye. And good hunting, Mr. Throckmorton.
So Jack, what was his name? Jack Gillingham? He said he thought he was murdered by a vampire. So I found the corpse of a young man who seems to have been murdered but not ripped apart by Skal or taken by the flu like so many other victims in the docks of the East End. Maybe I should inquire a little bit more about the case. Yeah, so he, I think, was murdered by someone from the Wet Boot Boys or somebody else, maybe. Ichabod, what a name. Ichabod Throgmorton. And locate the site where the bombing took place. Okay, so let's get some of his posters. Oh, can we look at this
Not
body?
a drop of blood left in his body. This is the work of a vampire.
I think it's time to ask Tom Watts what he knows. Being
Good
the
evening, Tom.
bartender,
Good
he
evening,
must
sir.
know all
How
the
are
goss.
you tonight? Back to the docks, are we?
You remember me then?
Of course I do. You're that man who seemed so lost when he entered my bar a few nights ago.
Thank you for your hospitality. I'm Jonathan Reed, by the way.
I'm still Tom Watts. Welcome back, Doctor.
Tom, I need to find Sean Hampton as quickly as possible. I've been told you could help me.
I heard the sad saint was recovering at Pembroke Hospital. Did he leave or something?
Okay, so they don't know that he's back.
I believe he returned to his flock. Can you confirm that?
Oh, I bet you're right. Sean can't help but worry about the poor and sick. Oh, I guess it has something to do with what happened to him as a baby.
Please, tell me.
Well, I don't like to
what
gossip,
happened to
but
him?
I heard that the sad saint was abandoned as a baby in front of a Catholic orphanage in Dublin. That would explain his faith and need to help everyone.
Aww.
The important thing is I find him, quickly.
Why not try his night asylum? He takes care of those who need a meal or a roof there.
Where is it?
It's in an old warehouse, northwest of here. Just follow the bank to the west
An
and
old
go
warehouse.
north when you reach the end of the pier.
An old warehouse, eh? Oh, he has so many hints. So many hints, and I don't have any. Oh, I have this one.
Sabrina seems very fond of you, Tom.
Sabrina the bartender.
I like her too. I really do. I know I'm her boss, and I'm much older and all. But I like her, for sure.
What is bothering you, then?
Sabrina is an angry one. She wears it like a coat. I'm not sure I can make her shed that anger. It hurts to see her like that.
What else can we ask about this part of town? Have you this place open?
What can you tell me about this part of town?
It's not that bad. Thanks to people like the sad saint of the East End.
Who?
Sean Hampton, our own private holy figure. Few are foolish enough to make peace with the gangs. Sean is one of them.
How is it you can keep this place open? This part of town doesn't seem particularly safe.
Well, since everybody needs a drink, my pub is considered neutral ground by most groups.
You're something of a figurehead around here.
I'm only pouring alcohol for everyone to forget their troubles. Sean Hampton is the one giving them long-term hope.
Since I'm here, is there anything I can do?
Well, perhaps, Doctor. Peace partly depends on my stock of gin. With the epidemic, my supplies are running low.
How could a physician help you in
Want
this
me
matter?
to get you more gin?
I have a small warehouse just past the quarantine line. Perhaps, with you being a doctor, you could go there and come back?
Doctors aren't immune to disease, you know. Very well. Show me where it is. I'll see what I can do.
Oh, thank you, sir. Here's the key to get in. You're about to save many dry throats.
Okay, that must be in Southwark. Southwark as well. Warehouse key.
I see.
Okay.
So you get pressure from all sides about how this place should be run, do you?
Or something like that. Nothing that a few wise words and a bottle of gin can't solve.
All right, thank you, Tom Watts.
Goodbye, Mr. Watts.
He didn't deserve this.
Who else is here? Sabrina and Dyson is recovering. Sabrina, do we have any more quests for her? Or not quests, hints. Ooh, there's 3 hints that are unlocked. Can we unlock some more hints for her
Evening, miss.
by talking to her?
Never. That's a first. Customers who make that much mess rarely come back. Never mind in fancy togs.
I'm much more myself than when we first met. By the way, I'm Jonathan, Dr. Jonathan Reed.
Welcome back to the Turquoise Turtle then, Doctor. I'm Sabrina Cavendish. How can I help you?
Let's just see. We can ask
Sabrina,
her about her feelings.
tell me about your true feelings for your boss.
I love Tom. Not ashamed of it. Don't care if the customers joke about it, neither.
Does Tom love you?
Yeah, but he's always reluctant to take it further. It's not because I'm younger, or because of the colour of my skin. He hates jokes about us.
He said that she was angry.
Who's mocking you?
I mean, we're always together. People will talk, won't they?
Yeah, he said that she was really angry, and in like the first episode we found a letter in the bin that was like seemed to be from her diary, and she seems to have a lot of self-hatred. So I think she's just really insecure.
Excuse my curiosity, but where exactly are you from, Miss Cavendish?
Something bothering you? What, my name? Or my complexion?
Believe me, I never judge someone on their place of birth or the color of their skin.
If that's true, you'd be one of the few not to make fun of me. Just you, Tom, Dyson, Miss Fishburne, and of course Mr. Hampton.
I'm sorry if I worried you. I was just curious to find out if you know this part of town well.
Nosy. My dad was a sailor from Bombay, and my mum was a maid born up in Glasgow. They got married in London. And here I am.
Okay. I don't really need to ask her about Sean Hampton now.
Miss Cavendish, would you be willing to help me locate Sean Hampton?
You better ask Tom, sir.
Why not answer me directly?
We respect the privacy of our customers here, sir. Only Tom can decide who to speak to and what he'll say to them.
Let's ask her more stuff.
This
'cause
place
if we can
seems-
unlock a few more
how
hints
shall
for
I
her,
put
we
it?
can get her
Very
to be a bit
colourful.
more tasty.
I'm sure it has plenty of stories to tell.
We get people of
Get a
all
little bit
sorts
more
here.
XP.
It's that rare place in the docks where you can have a drink without being murdered. At least it's not happened yet.
Your boss must be quite the negotiator to force such an agreement.
Yeah. Tom's a great bloke. Mr. Hampton, who runs the night asylum, he's the only other man that's able to keep peace around here.
So this bar is neutral territory, then?
Yeah. Tom's convinced this is something the locals need. No one ever draws a weapon here. That's one of the reasons I accepted the job.
What is she, level 3? We don't have any more hints for her.
What can you tell me about this area?
People don't appreciate that line of questioning round here. You best be more careful with what you say, sir.
All I said was tell me about the area.
This is a bad borough. Most people I know are afraid. Most locals
Bad
will rob you
borough.
blind, or worse. You best mind your step.
It's a bad borough. There we go. Got a hint.
So you and your friends all feel in
It's a
danger?
bad borough.
No exceptions?
Tom's the only exception I've come across until now. But he's not like everybody else.
Any more hints? Any more hints? No. That's it. Okay.
Goodbye, Miss Cavendish.
Not sure. Oh, look at the train. Oh, look at the train.
Good evening, sir. I'm amazed you made it back to the docks alone. Good for you.
Well, I could say the same about you, young man. More to the point, who the hell are you?
I'm Dr. Jonathan
Oh, he doesn't
Reed.
remember
And
me.
I am Archer Woodby.
I think he was pretty
Please
drunk.
excuse my assertiveness. I often forget I'm just an old prune.
Do... Tell me about the Guard of Priwen.
Tell me everything you know about the Guard of Priwen.
Andrew never told me what they do. I do know they're vigilantes with military training. Access to some impressive firepower.
And what is your personal opinion about the Guard, then?
This Guard of Priwen is just another gang preying on the young and naive. Preying on people like my boy. I know how it works. I invented it.
Oh?
Why did your son really join the Guard of Priwen?
If I believed in a higher power, I'd see this as punishment for my own sins. I deserve it for all the young men I enlisted back in the day.
Who did he used to... Did he used to work in the...
So your son
What's he
has
talking
left
about?
you nothing to explain his actions? No letter or message?
Not even a note. I'm a proud man, Dr. Reed. But I would kneel and pray if I thought it would give me my Andrew back.
Did he used to work in a gang?
You don't
This guy?
believe in God, though, do you, Mr. Woodbead? So why did he join?
Now I think about it, Andrew joined the Guard, not to defy me, but to follow in my footsteps, to make me proud.
So, are you saying that you used to be in the Guard of Priwen as well?
Have you always been so bitter?
It's not bitterness, it's poorly masked disgust. When everything turns to shit, we all have to eat a spoon or two.
Ew. Ooh.
With everything that's happened recently, the war, Spanish flu, I must concede that these are difficult times.
A few nights ago, I saw a kid eating a rat. He was right in front of one of those abandoned houses nearby. Just chewing on a living rat's insides.
Ew. Is that because they were a vampire or not? I don't know. Okay, we've one more hint for him. I don't know if we're gonna find
If you
out.
were such a respected figure, surely you have many interesting stories about this part of town.
You bet I do, but make no mistake. I'm no rat, sir. Some secrets are best left buried.
Come on, tell me your secrets. People from the old days, remarkable new faces, stranger weird characters. Who would you trust?
Who would you trust around here?
The owner of the Turquoise Turtle's a decent fella.
Yeah.
Tom's his name. Sean Hampton's all right too. Don't particularly share his religious views. He's quite devout, if you catch my meaning.
Remarkable new faces?
Any remarkable new faces around here?
Nobody. Well, there's that boy Rufus the Curse. I like him, despite the reputation
Rufus
he's
the
made since
Curse?
his parents died. Poor little bastard.
Who's that?
Do you still know anyone? From the old days, I mean.
Most of them are dead. I still give Miss Gillingham salutations.
Miss Gillingham,
She doesn't
okay.
remember me. She did once like me. Boy, she was a beauty back then.
That's the mother of the dead guy with the pocket watch.
I'm sure a district as colorful as the
Don't know where
docks
she is.
must have plenty of stories about strange visitors and creepy characters.
So, you want me to talk about the sewer dog, don't you?
If you don't mind.
The sewer dog is a bitch. Appropriately named. An old woman dressed in rags. She has an elegance, though. Despite her ugliness. I saw her once. Scared the life out of me.
Sewer dog.
What can you tell me about this part of town?
People used to feel safe around here. They had the gangs protecting them. Now all they do is bicker and plot against one another.
And what about the gangs?
Back in my day, people trusted the wet boot boys. We looked out for the docks and its
Okay,
families.
that makes more sense.
Nowadays, they're just a bunch of greedy fuckers.
You were a gang member.
So he
I
used
was
to be
their
in...
leader for a time, believe it or not.
Oh.
Now these bastards act like I'm nothing. Not one of them. They owe me some damn respect.
Interesting.
Missing the good old days, are you not?
Trust me, son. The longer you live, the less meaning your existence will have. You need to remember the days you still had beliefs.
Ah, so he used to
Goodbye, sir.
lead the Wet Boot Boys back in his day. And now they just ignore him. That's interesting. Yeah. That's cool. Okay, good to know. Archer Woodbead. So we're gonna hop over here. Because this is the kind of side of town we need to be. Whoop! Oh my god. A level 22 large beast and then 2 Priwen gunners. Okay.
Watch yourselves. There's one of them.
Oh shit.
Oh Christ! Bloody leech!
Are they... So, are they... Oh! Okay, the beast is attacking them. Good to know, good to know. I was thinking, I was like, how are they just hanging in there together? Like, the large beast is not attacking the Priwen guard. But, yeah, that makes sense that he did. Level 22, one of those. I reckon I could take a level 22, one of those. See, when he eats the corpse like that, is he getting health back? That's what I want to know. Yeah. Okay, so they're not so bad because you can dodge them easily enough. Level 22 though, that was like the highest level. That's, I think, the highest level baddie I've seen in the game so far. I'm feeling a little vulnerable after the last level up. I leveled up from level 12 to 14, but I still feel a little bit vulnerable actually. Okay. Jimmy the Spark Barlow. Oh, we've got a named vampire hunter? Who's he talking to? Just a gunner. Is there anyone else in there?
Seems like the guard
Oh
of
god.
Priwen is on shore.
He's got a flamethrower, looks like. Oh god, the flamethrower is so harsh. Ah. Oh god. Does that say nullified? Ah! Okay, he's a half health. Oh my god, that fucking flamethrower though. Ah! Oh my god. Oh, get out of the hole. Oh my god, he's so much help. I need to bite some blood, I think. Oh, I'm gonna die, I'm gonna die, I'm gonna die. Okay, let's get him, let's get him. We can do it, we can do it, we can do it. Oh, more blood, more blood. Stop flamethrowing me! Okay, we can do it, we can do it. We can totally do this. Damn it. Trying to do my ability. Oh, I'm casting that on the wrong person. Oh shit! Okay, we just need to keep hitting him. We got it, we got it, we got it, we got it. We totally got it. Come on. Yes, yes. Okay, that's the hardest part done. Oh, he got a cool gun. Okay. Hardest part is done. He had so much health and he was really resistant to my attack. Okay. How many baddies are left now? Is that it? Okay, we did it. Flamethrowers are scary. I got a cool gun off him though. Jesus. Okay, let me have a look at that. What did I get off him? This cool gun. Ooh, common pistol, parabellum, 40 damage. See, I just don't like the guns because when you're fighting, you run out of bullets and then you have to switch weapons in the middle of your fight. Okay. So there's a blood trail coming in here. Oh yeah, so this is the body they were looking at.
The wounds on this corpse are deep. The result of rabid rage. If this is Sean's doing, he's become a murderous beast.
Yeah, that's the thing. What kind of a skull has Sean turned into, you know? What kind of a skull / vampire is he? I don't know. I don't know, did I miss the right way to go, or do I have to go this way?
This poor man has just been slaughtered by a vampire. The body's still warm.
I'll let that Priwen rookie get out. They didn't get killed. Alright, so he's just being slaughtered by a vampire. We need to go to the right at some point. Looks like there was a doorway in here, or maybe that was up. Oh. Sorry, I did not realize what I was doing. Ah, yeah, fall down there. Oh shit, I fell as well. Ah! I didn't even know I was doing that. Okay, you're dead. What are you gonna do now? You can't even get me from up there. And I can't jump up until I'm out of combat, so... Oh, there's a chest here. Now, where'd he go? Oh, he's running over there. Right. See anything else worth looting? Is he coming back? Okay. Nice. Dead inside. Oh, another chest. Yeah, looks like we can go this way and through here to get out the other side of... Wait, is this... No, I feel like I need to be up there. Or is this even... Is this bringing me... Oh yeah, no, this is where I wanted to go. I want to go in here and then out the other side, and then I should be in the place I want to be. Is that a wheelchair? Oh no, it's not. Oh nice, let's loot all this. Whoop. It's a guy with a cross. What are they called? Chaplains. I'm up here, you can't get me now. Blinker skull. There's a chest down there. Will they fight each other? Or they're not going to come any closer? Okay. Well. Night shelter's vicinity. Oh, this is where Sean is. In here somewhere. Oh, God. And this woman is dead. This woman is definitely dead. So, oh God, has Sean just been eating everybody in the shelter? Probably. Oh boy. Sean? Are you in here? Oh God, is that blood? That's weird that that blood's not showing up in my vampire vision, isn't it? Because usually it would be bright red if I go into this view. Well. He must be in here somewhere. Oh, this is back outside. Okay, so there's a person down there.
Please, sir, come and have a gander.
Is he talking to me? Are you talking to me?
I know I've got something that'll strike your fancy. If not, I'll find you something.
Is he a merchant? Who are you? Hello? Can I talk to you?
Good evening. I'm Dr. Reed. Do you need any help?
Rest assured, I will help you, sir. Martin Nightingale, at your service.
Martin?
Please, take a look at my
Nightingale.
wares.
Your merchandise. I don't really see anything worth having. No offense.
None taken, sir. But please, I need to eat. Perhaps if you keep looking, you'd see something that takes your fancy.
Show me what you have to offer then, Mr. Nightingale.
Let's see. Oh, he's got a blood sample. Vampire factions and skulls. A music box. Oh, containing a folded letter. Let's buy that. Common handle part. Trigger part, lead plate, lead stick. I think what I need to upgrade is get good handle parts from now on. So, but yeah, I'll definitely take the collectible thing and the music box thing.
Why not try seeking help instead of peddling your wares? I'm sure there are people around here that would gladly help.
There's always the night asylum. Heard it's run by a very nice man, but I'm no beggar. Not yet, at least.
Yeah.
There is no shame in asking for help.
That would be dangerous. He's
Sometimes it can even be the best course of action.
Not a nice man anymore.
I'm gonna make a name for myself, and I'll do it by myself.
Okay.
What can you tell me about the neighborhood? Have you got any friends around these parts?
Not really. Miss Gillingham smiles and says kind words, but I know she's lost her marbles, especially since her son died.
Oh.
How interesting. I don't suppose you know what happened to her son.
Jack! Rumour has it he tried to tackle some gang lads. I didn't know him well, but I heard he was a nice enough chap. His old ma still thinks he's around.
Tell me about this crazy woman. Madness is often mistaken for other conditions.
The poor woman's mad, all right. Kind and all, but she has so much trouble remembering things. She's taken me for a son more than once.
Aww. Yeah, I'd love to find her, even though I messed up that quest line.
You're as much of a businessman as I am a werewolf, right?
Who the hell are you to question me? It's hard enough to stay clean when you don't have a place to sleep. I'm doing my best here.
I meant no offense, Mr. Nightingale. I was merely pointing out the fact that you're unlikely to survive long if you continue wandering this path.
And what should I do then, sir? Should I join the Wet Boot Boys like so many others? No thanks. I'd rather be a bad seller than a dead gang member.
Yeah, he's got a point. You know, he's trying to be an entrepreneur, have his own business, instead of joining the gang. Can't fault him.
I'm looking for Sean Hampton. Can you help me?
He's a caretaker for the poor, is he not?
Something like that, yes.
Sorry, I don't know where he is.
Yeah, neither do I.
Goodbye.
Okay, thank you for your help.
Are you certain you're not lost, sir? You seem quite the stranger.
Bloodstain goes out this way and over that direction. This looks like a marketplace. Yeah. Edwards, Whitechapel, watches, clocks and jewellery repaired. What's this? Motored Merchant Services. Oh, there's the posters. Okay, so choose what to do about Ichabod Throgmorton's campaign. Stick 5 posters in the streets of the East End docks or burn all the posters. What's wrong with the posters? They're just warning about vampires, aren't they? Let's see. Okay, so he asked me to help him warn the locals by gluing warning posters in the streets. What would it make me then if I agreed to help a vampire hunter, a double or triple agent? I mean, it's not going to do anything. If I hang up a few posters, it's not going to... Like, what's that going to do? Well, I suppose it's not really like a common thing that people know about yet, is it? About the vampire threat. Whoa.
Good evening, miss.
Who is this?
I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. May I come in?
Oh, is
I
this
already took
the
my
mother?
medication,
Is this
Doctor.
Enid Gillingham?
But thank you.
I'm sorry. Your medication? Have we met before?
Don't tease me like that, Jack.
Oh, it
Sorry.
is.
What?
I think I should
Enid.
come in, miss.
I wonder if I'll be able to give
I'd
her
like
the
to check
pocket
if everything
watch.
is okay, what with the epidemic spreading across London.
I don't know.
An epidemic, you say? How terrible. I had no idea. But where are my manners? Please do come in, Doctor. You are a doctor, yes?
Enid Gillingham's house. Well, we'll loot it anyway. We'll loot everything you got. Tell me, Enid, can I give you this pocket watch?
So, Dr. Tippett's. What brings you back here?
Oh no.
I heard whispers you had a job at that fancy hospital.
I told you my name is Jonathan Reed. Don't you remember?
Of course I do. I remember my name too. Gillingham. But you may call me Enid, Doctor. I'm very happy to see you again.
Okay, we're still recording? Still recording. Okay, cool. I had to change the battery in my camera really quick. Sorry, Enid. I want to ask you about your son.
Enid, have you really no idea what happened to your son? No idea at all.
I've not seen Jack for so long. I lose track of time. Has something bad happened to him?
Oh. Oh, I can mesmerize her. Oh, she's sick too. He's dead.
Jack is dead, Miss Gillingham.
Of course he's not. I've seen him. Tonight, in fact. Ever the joker, Dr. Tippett.
Oh. About the neighborhood, any influential figures?
Is anyone taking care of you, Miss Gillingham?
My son is always here to take care of me. He's a good boy like that, but I do worry that he needs to start living his own life. Why, I would never say that to him, of course.
What can you tell me about this part of town?
Oh, no. I don't gossip. That would be most unbecoming of a lady such as myself.
Who are the more influential figures on the docks?
Well, I heard about some terrible illness going around. I would say in that case that it's you, Dr. Tippets.
Oh, she thinks I'm Dr. Tippets now.
I'm looking for a Sean Hampton. Do you know where I might find him?
Sean Hampton, you say? Oh, the name does seem vaguely familiar, but alas, I cannot recall from where.
Yeah, it's a pity I can't give her the pocket watch because I do have it. I just technically...
Do you require medical attention, miss?
I'm glad you
By
asked,
accident.
Dr. Tippets. I must confess I haven't felt that well of late.
Okay, let's give her some medicine.
I'll try my best. Here, take this. And please, try to get some rest.
Thank you, Doctor. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Goodbye, Miss Gillingham.
Ooh, unfinished letter. Rodney, I just heard what happened tonight. I ran to your house, but you were already gone, so now I'm writing this note. Is it true you killed him? I can't believe it. Why? What happened? I really need to talk to you now. Please find a way to contact me when you receive this message. Since I know you can be very cautious, and to prove to you this is not a trap, let's use a code when we meet. I'll whistle my name, Jack, in Morse code, and you'll whistle yours. Okay? This way, you'll know it's really me. For now, it's a good thing you were hiding. The Wet Boot Boys are all over the neighborhood claiming they will punish the man who murdered one of them. I'm sure we could make an arrangement to settle things once the heat dies down. Wait. So Jack's friend Rodney is the one who killed someone from the gang? So they killed Jack by mistake then? Is that what happened? Huh. Hide and seek. Okay. Okay. Alright, let's my god, there's so much going on in the docks. This is a lot. Okay, we picked up a few quests and stuff. But what we want to do is, I think, I want to head over and finish off the main quest of finding Sean. Oh. Who are you?
Good evening, miss. I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. May I have your attention for a minute?
Good evening, sir. My name is Giselle Paxton.
Is this the night shelter that he
I don't have time
runs?
for men like you.
Giselle
Have we met
Paxton.
before?
No. But I just need to look at your fancy clothes to know that you must be desperate to visit the docks at night.
That's quite judgmental of you.
Sir, I've led enough strikes when I had a job to identify you as an enemy of the working class.
Ooh, alright.
I'm looking for Sean Hampton. Can you help me?
What is it you want? Does he owe you money? Has he displeased your Royal Highness? I'm no snitch, Mr. Fancy Pants.
Fair enough. Wow. Ooh, I can mesmerize her. Ooh, she could be worth 2,000.
You speak of strikes and
See if we can get
class
any hints.
enemy. Am I right to assume you're involved in trade union activism?
You bet I am. Well, I was. Nowadays, I'm just another worker blacklisted by the big companies.
Isn't the whole point of trade unions to help workers in need? Why don't they support you?
A few nights back, I lost the money my companions had asked me to hide. With me and my sister being penniless, they thought I stole it.
What really happened?
I drank too much that night. Strange men saw me count the money in that bar. Some sort of militia in uniform. sure they robbed
The
me.
guard of Priwen, maybe?
You lost your job because of your beliefs.
Those bastards really hate a worker who refuses slave wages and unsafe conditions, especially when it's a woman.
May I ask what you do for a living?
I'm killing myself scraping for a living. And you? Have you ever had to struggle in your entire life?
As I told you, I'm a doctor. You have to work a lot to earn that title.
Oh, a doctor. Born with money in a nice house, were we? Was Daddy a banker or a doctor himself?
Why such hatred? Are you judging me by my clothes and my job?
Course I am. Fuck, you're so blind. You don't even see your privilege. Lazy people like you disgust me.
Oh, she's so angry.
What can you tell me about this vicinity?
Tell you what, just spend a few weeks here and then ask me that question again. If you're still alive, I mean.
Oh, wow.
If you have something to say, say it. I'm getting tired of all this.
Oh, you want information instead? Well, here's some for you. Giselle Paxton does not like you at all, Doctor.
Clearly. Need more hints.
You don't know me, Miss Paxton, and yet you see me as an enemy.
Your manners, your clothes, your words tell me everything about you, sir. I know your kind, and you don't belong here.
You're right, Miss Paxton. My clothes and my manners do speak for me. And I may not belong here, but that doesn't make me a bad person.
You tell me, Dr. Reed. You tell me.
Okay.
Well, I'll leave you for now. Goodbye, Miss Paxton.
Goodbye. So I think I'm going to end the episode there, and next time we'll pick up right here looking for Sean in this area. I think there's going to be a few new people to meet and talk to as well. Yeah, so Sean seems to have come back as... I don't know, I don't think he's just come back as a Skal. I think he's come back as a more advanced type of vampire. Because he seems to be, you know, able to hide and perhaps has returned back to this place, but like no one's really seen him, so he seems like he probably has a bit more intelligence than a regular Skal. I don't know if he's like a full vampire like me, though. That's the only thing. He could be, but I don't really know how that works exactly. So it'll be interesting if we find him to see what he's like, what level of intelligence he kind of has, and yeah, and then see, I guess we have to decide then, do we just put an end to him, do we kill him, or what's going to happen? So I'm looking forward to meeting Sean face to face, and yeah, that's going to be a next episode. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you then.